So at the moment, I live out in West London, but I'm originally from just outside Cardiff in a place called Penarth. Do I prefer London or Cardiff? That is a difficult one because London has everything and Penarth has nothing, which is part of the beauty of it. So the name Sker came from when I was about 15 or 16. I was creating a SoundCloud account literally at the same time as drawing, sketching. And that's what I was tagging at the time was those letters. And then I decided to use them, and then it kind of stuck and I never really changed it because it kind of grew on me after a while. So Last Night in Bangkok recently came out. It's kind of like an upbeat sort of ambient track, which then kind of evolves into more of like a guitar-y, sort of synthy kind of piece. So the inspiration for Last Night in Bangkok was that I wrote it the day that I got back from Bangkok. I went traveling for about a month. I think a few different things kind of influenced me on that. So a few things like personal things outside of music and such like. So I see myself more as a producer than a DJ, because when I DJ it's more drum and bass, kind of like liquid or maybe a bit kind of heavier, techier kind of vibes. Whereas the production stuff is obviously the more left field, kind of chilled out ambient sort of stuff. Yeah, and I much prefer producing than DJing. My favourite piece of studio equipment is probably either my guitar or my bass, because I tend to write most of my songs, or at least start most of my songs using the guitar or the bass, and it plays quite a big role in my music as a whole. So in fact, Burgundy, the last track that was released on the Ambient Zone, that was actually named after my guitar because it was burgundy and I just got it and then I wrote Burgundy. So the three artists that inspire me the most, I would have to say, are probably Bonobo, a band called Whitney, and a band called Krungbin. So if I had to collaborate with one of those three people, it would most definitely be Bonobo. I wouldn't say that I have a favourite track of all time, because I tend to listen to a lot of albums and stuff. Probably my favourite album of all time would have to be Bad Vibes by Shlomo. So outside of music, I illustrate and sketch. That's always kind of run side by side with the music, and it's always kind of inspired me. And then more recently, I have started to experiment with photography, again, because it's another kind of creative outlet that can give me a bit more artistic freedom. So ambient music to me doesn't necessarily stick to its archetypical kind of instruments or synths or sounds or anything. It's more about creating a space and giving yourself, the headspace to sit there and reflect and think about things. So for the rest of the year, I'll be working on the new EP and working on the live band and the live show and getting all that set up. And I look forward to sharing it with you all.